Is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my friend for yielding the time, and I rise today in opposition to the combined rule for H.R. 674 and 2576. The underlying bill, H.R. 674, repeals the 3% withholding for taxes on payments to government contractors. In H.R. 2576, it will make health care unaffordable for 500,000 Americans, and that's not according to me, that's according to CBO, leaving them with no choice but to drop their coverage. This bill will also increase the cost or reduce the coverage for many more Americans, including individuals with severe disabilities. The pairing of these two bills is not, in my considered opinion, an appropriate use of our nation's tax code, and in my opinion, does nothing to create jobs. It is part of the same old all-or-nothing majority strategy that led to the debt ceiling standoff earlier this year. The Republicans have taken a bipartisan idea, and it is bipartisan, as my good friend from South Carolina said, that would actually put money directly in the pockets of hardworking Americans and made its passage contingent on a bill that rehashes the health care reform debate from the last Congress. Once again, my colleagues have chosen to play politics with the lives of middle-class and working poor Americans. The withholding requirement itself was passed in 2005 when President George W. Bush was in the White House, and Republicans had majorities in both the House and the Senate. But it was never implemented, and it has been put off a number of times. Today, there is broad support for repealing this Republican-created provision. H.R. 674 has, as my friend said, 269 bipartisan co-sponsors. Since Republicans have now brought a bill to the floor that would repeal this requirement, it is clear that this measure should not be combined, as in this rule, with H.R. 2576. Getting rid of this provision will keep administrative costs down and assist American businesses during these challenging economic times. However, Republicans want to pay for the 3% bill by making it harder for retirees, the disabled, and poor to get access to health insurance. This is yet again an inappropriate use of our tax code. This bill is known as the MAGI, M-A-G-I bill, Modified Adjusted Gross Income. It repeals a provision in the Affordable Care Act that allows individuals and families to exclude non-taxable Social Security benefits from their income when determining their eligibility for health care benefits. This definition would also apply when qualifying for Medicaid and federal subsidies to buy private insurance in the state-run exchanges. According to the Joint Committee on Taxation, the exclusion of non-taxable Social Security benefits is typical when applying income limitations to tax benefits. Regardless of the facts, my friends in the majority have decided to throw retirees and disabled individuals under the bus in order to offset a completely unrelated bill. My friends on the other side of the aisle claim that this is about equity and fairness. But is it equitable for as many as 500,000 Americans to lose all their health care coverage as a result of this measure? What do we say to these individuals? Sorry, all 500,000 of you are out of luck. Is it fair to make health care less accessible to low and middle income individuals rather than close loopholes and cancel special tax deals for wealthy oil companies? In contrast, the Democrat substitute offered by Mr. Levin, the ranking member of the Ways and Means Committee, will make oil companies pay their fair share of taxes, thereby reducing the deficit by $5.3 billion over 5 years and $12.8 billion. It is clear that H.R. 2576 is not about equity at all. It's about forcing individual taxpayers to shoulder the burden of business tax provisions. H.R. 2576 will impose higher costs on retirees and persons with severe disabilities, shifting them out of Medicaid coverage or requiring that they contribute significantly more of their income for health insurance coverage through reduced tax credits. How do Republicans intend to offset the costs, such as increased trips to the emergency room? How do you offset that association with 500,000 Americans suddenly losing their health insurance coverage? The tax code should not be used to effectively reduce health care coverage and increase costs for those least affordable or able to afford it. Make no mistake, H.R. 2576 is yet another attempt by Republicans to undermine comprehensive health care reform. Last week, the Senate Republicans forced a vote on 3% withholding repeal bill, but it too failed over unreasonable Republican demands. Where are the jobs? Instead of passing a jobs bill, Republicans are redefining the rules to make health care less accessible for a considerable number of Americans. These bills together are a new approach to cutting the deficit for Republicans. Until recently, they said that the only way to fix the deficit was to starve the beast. That is, spending cuts only. But with a bill like H.R. 2576 that takes away health care from hundreds of thousands of Americans, Republicans have decided that rather than starving the beast, it's better to feed the beast to our society's most vulnerable members. Mr. Speaker, at this time I reserve the balance of my time.